Today we're testing out this EdgePro Apex that we got from EdgePro. They're out of Hood River, Oregon. So we're super excited to try this out. Cody sent this over for us to test out. And so we're gonna sharpen a knife on it. First, I wanted to show you how to put on, I got a few attachments with it. So you gotta get them separately. Here's the sharpening system. On the bottom here, this piece that you see that is screwed in, there's a wing nut right here that you tighten that down. And then this piece, you can clamp it down with a C-clamp to a tabletop or a bench top. So this is an accessory. It's the bench top mount. Super excited to sharpen a knife. Then there's also this piece here, which is the slide guide. This here, I took off the other guide system and put this on. You tighten it here and then you adjust your knife and then you adjust this. So you loosen that up, slide with whichever piece you need to slide up and down. So right now we got a Benchmade knife on here. Right here are the guides, the angle guides. So you see the white, the blue, the yellow. So in the instructions, it's going to let us know what each one of these mean. So each one is a different angle. So on the bottom here is a couple suction cups. And so you get those a little bit wet, stick it down to a nice and hard surface. And then here's this thing that helps stabilize it. And then once it's down, and then you got a C-clamp back here holding it down to a bench top. So right now there's a magnetic assist. Here is one of their stones, EdgePro. This is the 1000 grit. I'm going to show you how to put on these accessories that I have here. I just wanted to show them to you real quick. I'm going to swing this out of the way. And then there's a magnet accessory right here. I don't want to do it while it's up in the air. But basically you pull down on this little round piece here. You pull that down, pull on that, and that'll pull the magnet down. And then to reactivate the magnet, then you want to pick that up and that'll force the magnet back up to hold the knife in place. So it's the magnet idea is a great idea. It's super solid. Holds the knife really well. I've had a machete on here. Held it in position really good. Looking at this Apex, it's from EdgePro. These guys are out of Hood River, Oregon. So local guys. Thank you for sending that over to the channel for us to check out. So right now I got a Benchmade knife on it. It's a Bushcraft style knife. So we're going to touch up this knife or do some sharpening on it. Okay, first I want to show you how this thing works. So it's got a couple suction cups here. You can get those a little bit wet. Then back here we have these legs that fold out. There's a little rubber feet on each one. So we want to set it down here. And then once it's down firm, make sure your legs are pulled out all the way, but then push down with both thumbs up here in the front all the way down, and that's going to form a suction. I check it, pull up a little bit, make sure it's tight. Okay, then you're going to be steady at that point. So then we would take our rod here with our stone. This piece that's right here will go on the right side in the center. As we drop that down in there, it's going to stop. On the back side is a little wheel. Turn, it's right here. Turn that. That's going to tighten up on the rod so it doesn't come out. You want to make sure this piece is centered right here. So you got the same amount of play each direction. Then tighten this up. Tighten the lower one up. Okay. So right now we have an EdgePro 1000 grit stone on here. So we can swing that out of our way. One thing I want to, well, I'm going to show you how that goes in here. It's got a spring system. There's a ball right here on the end, and then there's a spring right in front of it. So right here I like to grab with my fingers to remove the stone and change it. So I'll grab it, and then I got my palm back here holding this, the end of it. You can see right there, EdgePro. This side, the flat part, is where I grab it. I'll pull down against the spring, and then the stone comes out. When I'm sharpening, sometimes I'll like to flip the stone around, so I'm working both sides evenly. So to put it back in, you make sure and square everything up on the far end, and then you pull this against the spring and make sure it's all perfectly squared up side to side. So if it comes in and it's crooked like that, that's not what you want. You want it to be straight. Both ends, check both ends. So that it's a nice and solid spring. That's what holds that in. One other thing, I'm going to pull this stone out real quick. We'll set it right here. So EdgePro, let me pop these plastic pieces up, the little feet. So EdgePro already mounted this magnet assembly on here, and I'm going to show you how that works a little more as we go into it. But you got to actually push this up, and it grabs the magnet, and you pull the magnet back away. If you try doing it while the knife's on there, the magnet seems to stay up by the knife. And so that right there is very handy. Definitely need to get this magnet assembly. Otherwise you're going to be trying to hold your knife steady, and with this it holds the knife steady on its own. So you're definitely going to need to get that when you get your EdgePro. This is the slide system that comes with it, and it's perfect for right now. The magnet's on. I'm going to pick the knife up, take it off. The magnet's right here. Okay, I just pulled the magnet down with this lever right here. Now I'm going to set my knife on here. It's a Bushcraft style knife, and the steel on this is 3V, if anybody was wondering. So I got the knife, and as you can see, it doesn't want to stay in place, so I'm going to have to hold on to it. Otherwise, I got this magnet right here. I can take the magnet and engage it. Okay, now hands free. I could sharpen on here. The magnet's going to hold it. So to disengage, pull the lever down, remove your knife, and grab the magnet and pull it down. Okay, so now we have no magnet. So when you set your knife on here, you're going to have to hold it like this while sharpening. So you'll have your stone on here, you set your knife on. This is the way it comes, so you'd be sharpening like that. Okay, I'm going to flip it over and mark the other side too. Right now the magnet's engaged, so it holds the knife on its own. We're going to take our Sharpie, mark this side. Be careful when you're doing this, especially if you have a sharp knife. Okay. So now we want to put a little bit of water on our stone. Okay, our stone's wet, so now we're going to see if we can remove some of this Sharpie. We may need to adjust our angle. So the way that I like to do this is take the stone. Let me make sure that we're planted right here. So this is the bench mount system. This is something you must have. I'm trying to get it in the camera. Okay, there you go. So what it does is it slides up underneath here and makes this thing set very solid, and then also you can put a C-clamp on this end and tighten it down to your bench. So I got it on a different bench than where I had it earlier, but I'm going to show you. It slides up underneath here. Okay, thread that down. Don't over tighten it. Then once you're down, make sure your suction cups are down. So with this piece here, this slide system, you want your knife where it's just above the end of the table right here. So with this one, I'm going to put it about right there. I'm going to bring up the slide, got the rail, or I guess it's a guide. But this is the factory guide. Okay, so now I'm going to take this stone. We're just going to put a 1000 on here to begin with. And I've already got it, it's already damp. So I'm going to take it on here and I'm going to make a pass back. And we're going to see if this is matching the angle. So we got a magnifying glass here. We're matching very close. So right here is how we set our angle on the EdgePro. So you can raise this or lower it wherever you want it. And it's got different colors. There's red, green, yellow, blue, white. What I had it set on was the yellow. Right here, I'm going to tighten down, make sure this knob is tightened down right in the center. So right here on our edge, we were matching very close. I'm going to work it across a little bit further. And so yeah, we're matching real close. So I'm going to leave it on this setting that we have it on. What we're going to do is try to remove all this Sharpie. I'm just going to make edge trailing strokes right now. So far the magnet is really holding very well. I'm going to work my way across the knife and then I'm going to turn it over. So it swings just far enough where I can flip the knife around. So you can see that it was taking off a lot of the Sharpie. Up in this area, I took off some of it. So I think we're at the right angle, because you can see how shiny it is from end to end. It just needs more work. Then I'm going to go to this side. This is the side where we haven't taken any Sharpie off. So you can see it's still dark all the way down. So let's set it on our EdgePro Apex. And I'm going to set the magnet. Okay, same thing. So when you're using these stones, you want to try to use the whole stone end to end. So far we're loving this sharpener. It's working great. Okay, I just moved the EdgePro Apex over to the other bench we're gonna use we got a C-clamp here. We're gonna use our bench mount to hold it in place. So I'm gonna loosen up the C-clamp, bring it in from the side of the bench. Okay, so now I just got a hold of this piece on the bottom with the C-clamp, and so it's mounted firmly down to the tabletop here. We were using our 1000 grit, but I think we're going to want to swap to something with a little more grit on it. We already marked our edge with Sharpie, so right now we were making edge trailing strokes. So let's go ahead and run through all the grits that came with our Apex. This is the EdgePro 120. So we're sharpening 3V steel right now. I'm going to take this 1000 off, set it over here, grab the 120. Slide it into position, make sure it's nice and square. We do have a different slide guide that we can put on here. We haven't put that on yet, or we've had it on, but we took it off. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to disengage or pull the magnet lever down, grab my knife off of here. I disengage the magnet. I'm going to wipe my edge of my knife. Okay, so we're setting our knife in. If you don't have the magnet, then there's a magnet attachment for this. If you don't have it, then you're going to have to hold your knife in place. If you have this magnet, you just do that and then you let go of your knife and it does all the work. These guys are out of Hood River, Oregon. Made in the USA products. So this thing came with a real nice carrying case. Make it real easy, like if you're going on a road trip or something, plan on staying out of town for a few days and you need to keep your knife sharp. This is the sharpener that you want to take with you. Let me wipe it real quick. It's made in the USA, made in Hood River. I probably move over about 1/4 inch each time. And everybody has their own style of doing this. Some guys you'll see pushing. Sometimes you'll see me pushing forward. Sometimes you'll see me pushing and pulling. Right now I'm just doing pulling strokes. So far this stone is cutting amazing actually. This whole side's almost cut in. I don't have my bright light over here, but so as you can see, we marked it with Sharpie, and the Sharpie's almost gone. Now let's flip it over to the other side. That side we had marked with Sharpie too. With the bench mount, I have a C-clamp on there, and that holds this thing super steady. Make sure to check out our friend Cody's page, EdgePro on YouTube. If you guys are interested in these sharpeners, if you want to get one of these sharpeners, get a hold of Cody over there, or get on edgepro.com. I'm going to leave a link. I'll leave a link in the description. So right here we're doing edge trailing strokes again. I'm just moving over a little bit each pass. We already got our angle set right up here with our angle adjustment knob. So if I still see Sharpie here, then I got to keep grinding. So I really like the magnetic accessory that you can get with this. That way I don't even have to touch the knife. It holds the knife on its own. So I really like the way that the guide system right here works, where you can just loosen that up and it's got preset angles on it. So you just flip it to whatever one you sharpen your knife to last, or whichever angle you're shooting for.